You are now tuned in to Sophisticated State of Mind Podcast. We're your host. Of course, I am Sanayar.
And I am Miss Anarchy.
And we're going to talk about anything and everything, but keep it sophisticated with a good old dick twist.
That's right.
All right. And today we're going to talk about growing up and getting old. We're going to talk about a little bit of nostalgia.
Heck yeah. Well, you seem to be the expert on
I'm the expert.
Growing up and getting old. I think you got a couple years on me.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding. But you grew up what? You were born in 75, right? And then so you grew up in the 80s.
Pretty much the 80s.
Late 80s, 90s.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in 94, so I grew up in the early 2000s and 2010s is my shit. So I know a lot about that stuff. I also do know, of course, a lot about the 90s stuff too, because I had older sisters and I'd got the hand-me-downs and was showing the favorite movies.
Yeah, you were showing some of the flavor from back then.
Of course. It's like, you got to know this stuff if you want to be cool.
Yeah, you didn't grow up, I don't think you grew up in the era when we had, 8 tracks and boom boxes.
No, but I was there.
Cassette tapes.
No, but I was there for like the CDs and burning CDs.
The back end.
Illegal downloading off of LimeWire and giving your family a computer a virus.
Wow.
Because you had a family computer back then.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
It wasn't just your own laptop. Everybody gets a laptop. Everybody has their cell phones. No, if you wanted to listen to music, you had to work for it.
You know what that reminded me of? That reminded me of dial-up internet.
Ooh. Well,
that reminded me of.
I feel like that goes hand in hand together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dial-up internet, I think of AIM, AOL messaging.
Yeah.
And the very first, like, that was like the texting and the DMing back in the day. That stuff, that was same shit, but different. And
yeah. I mean, just saying AOL is,
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's.
Remember having an away message? You had to put up an away message or something and check and see, because there's only specific times you could go online. Yeah. God forbid somebody needed to make a phone call while you were downloading something. Oh, God.
Slowed up the process so much more.
It. Get off the phone!
You know what I mean? And it wasn't just like it'll continue. It had to start over.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Because it like interrupted it and just effed it all up.
So let me ask you this. No. Did you grow up in more of the Flintstone Vitamin era or like the Heads Up 7-Up era?
It was both. I feel like that goes together because I definitely remember my mom giving me Flintstone vitamins every single morning, and she stopped because I just couldn't, my body didn't react well to them. Yeah, like she gave me one and I like threw up. So she was like, what? And then the next morning she gave me another one, threw up again. She was like, okay. And I was like, I don't think I need these. I think I'm okay.
Yeah, I think a lot of kids grew up on them vitamins.
Oh, yeah,
a lot
absolutely.
Of know
and
about
then
that.
It was chalky and gross and barely tasted of a flavor, like essence of grape and cherry and death.
It was like hard candy, but it was chalky.
It was very chalky. And then you were cool and like I think like very well off in my opinion if you were able to get the gummy ones, the gummy Flintstone vitamins, which came into play later on.
Those came after, you know.
Yeah,
what I mean?
But I mean that I was like, I'll take a gummy vitamin, but
yeah,
give me that chalky shit and I'm out.
So you remember Heads Up 7-Up too?
Oh yeah. I hated that game in school because
Why? You sucked at it?
Rarely got picked.
Oh man.
Yeah, I would just like I ended up just like watching and then just being the kid that like, okay, cool. And just back up and then okay, cool.
You're crazy.
What about you? What was that was like a big class game. Like I'd play that in class all the time. If
Yeah.
we didn't have anything to do, it's like, oh, can we
Or
play
if it
Heads Up,
was
7
raining
Up?
outside,
Yeah.
you stay inside and
Or
play.
which brings me to like if it was raining outside or we didn't really have anything to do for
Mm.
that class, like closer to the summer or something like that, and then the teacher would roll in the TV and we could watch movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was the day.
Yeah. I definitely remember those days.
Hell yeah.
That, just having a VCR.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Which kind of reminds me of Blockbuster Video. Remember that?
Hell yeah. But do you remember the movies that like maybe yours were a little different, but like the movies that we had when like
Like what?
when well what I'm trying to say like back when the teacher would roll out the movies and it was a specific like
Oh, for the class or
classroom
whatever.
movie.
Yeah.
Like obviously first and foremost it was either like a Bill Nye science video
Right.
and we would just binge those,
Mm-hmm.
or it was like what was it, like Remember the Titans
Yeah.
or
Something
Field
else,
of Dreams
you know,
or
yeah.
something like that. It always
Something
like ended up
based on
making
what
you
the
like
class is
cry a
all
little.
about.
But yeah, it's definitely always those classics. But continue.
Oh,
Blockbuster.
yeah, Blockbuster.
Hell yeah.
I remember, Friday nights, popcorn, candy, couple of movies.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? And then
That was my favorite
you
thing.
get some pizza or something.
Was like going to Blockbuster on a Friday night, and if it was like your turn to be able to pick the movie.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, I can pick whatever I want to. We're not gonna do a scary movie. I want to watch this. I want to watch this.
And we gotta watch my
it was
movie
your choice.
first.
Yeah. And we have to watch this movie first. And that was the whole thing. And then like begging your mom to like buy you Jiffy Pop. That was my thing. I had to have Jiffy Pop with like the Blockbuster movies.
They still got that.
I
right?
know they do, and I haven't
it.
bought it in forever. Haven't had it in forever because I mean, if I want popcorn, I just throw a bag in the microwave.
Yeah, now
and
now
wait
that's
3
all you
minutes
gotta do.
or 2 minutes, and I'm good.
Yeah.
Not even, but
Yeah.
there was something special about putting it on the stove and then watching it all like get like puff up and get big.
It was
and
like if you could imagine it was like the perfect commercial for family. You know what I mean? If you could picture it in your head, you going to get the movies, popping the popcorn while everybody's waiting. You know what I mean? It's that whole setup right there. You know what I mean?
That was definitely a fun thing, or like being able to pick out your own movie, doing the popcorn, and then it switched over to like Redbox and Netflix.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And then this was still when Netflix was delivered. Like you'd go online,
DVD,
and you'd click whatever movie you'd want to watch. It gets sent to you in a week.
Yeah.
And then
you get to keep it for
oh
like
yeah,
a
we're getting
week or
Netflix this
whatever.
week. Yeah, that's right. I did that. And
Yeah.
then pick out these movies, and then you get to watch your 2 or 3 movies or however many. Like that was the deal.
That's crazy.
That was what your subscription was for. Was however many movies you could have sent to you.
Yeah.
It's because you could do like 1 movie, 2 movies, or like 3 movies, or something like that, or up to 5. There's something where you can rent that many out.
Yeah. I remember that.
And then have it sent back after a week or something.
But that threw me back for a minute because I was like, yeah, I remember that, and it's like, look at where they are now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's just a huge leaps and bounds.
Yeah, but now they're pumping out their own TV shows
everything,
and all of that
movies.
good stuff, and on movies, and exactly, and it's this thing that like they're the ones that kind of turned it into like a streaming service. They're like one of the first
truly
one of the first streaming service, or the first streaming service, to kind of switch over from like, oh, let me just send you out DVDs and rent them,
right.
Make Blockbuster available all the time for you, and then it's like, hey, let me make it even easier for you with the movies.
You don't even got to go nowhere.
The DVRs and all of that stuff is we'll just sit down and binge watch this.
Yeah. Yeah, you ain't got to go nowhere. When everybody felt they could be lazy, they was like, this is it.
Yeah.
You know?
And then basically I got rid of like kind of killed cable in a sense. Because nobody wants to pay for commercials anymore. Nobody wants to like deal with that. If you want to watch your Love and Hip Hop, if you want to watch your whatever, your
Yeah.
any TV show you want to watch nowadays, it's you can just pull it up on
Streaming.
Netflix, pull it up on this
Streaming.
whatever it was,
It's
and
right there.
any streaming service you can think of, and it's right there. Just pay $5.
Very accessible. You know what
Easily.
I mean? Oh,
Yes. So easily.
So, which one you remember the most? Pagers or folded paper notes in school?
I didn't grow up with
In the pager
in
area?
the pager era,
Mhm.
but back in around school, it was a lot of written notes back and forth to each other, and you had to like fold it up in a cutesy way and tuck it in,
Mhm.
and then you'd pull here, and then you'd write a cute little note in between it, and then fold it
Yeah.
out, and like, oh, ha ha ha, and
Put
then
a
your
heart
little
on it
inside
if you
joke
sending it
or
to,
whatever,
like, a
and then they
little
fold
girl.
it open, and it was this stupid note of
Mhm.
just like how your day is going in class because you're bored and ha ha ha, LOL, like before LOL was a thing. But like, and then like P.S. Ginger looks so stupid in that skirt, blah 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 blah, or you know, whatever it is. And then you
Yeah.
write those notes and then fold it up and pray you don't get caught, because God forbid you do. And then
It's
you
a
have to
wrap.
read it out loud in
It's
front
a
of the
wrap.
class.
Yeah.
Thank God I've never had.
If
to
you
do
had
that.
a teacher like that, some
Yeah.
of them wouldn't do it.
Some
but,
people would
ooh,
just take the note, throw it away.
You
or-
don't want one who would have did that, because that could have been bad.
But there was, I remember one time in like school, I want to say it was probably like middle school, high school maybe,
Yeah.
where this chick was passing a note with her friend and the teacher intercepted it, and she's like, no, don't. And he's like, okay, I won't if you read the note out loud.
Oh.
Kind of a thing, like read it out loud. Tell me what you're saying. Share it with the class, kind of a thing. And he was just
Oh.
an a-hole teacher, but everybody was like,
What did he say though?
spill.
Like, yeah,
You're like, read the note.
Yeah, because that definitely would be me. I'd be like, yo,
But what
I
was
got
in the
to
note?
hear this.
Yeah, everybody, of course, like dropped silent, looked, and was like,
Yeah, because this
Is
is
she gonna
juicy.
read it?
This is some juicy drama.
right?
You know what I mean?
You knew.
Hey,
You knew.
do you remember the movie Goonies?
Of course,
That's a classic.
Goonies never die.
That's a classic.
Of course,
That
that is
was a
one of the
classic.
classics. Not only like, okay, you have the Goonies, and then you have the Breakfast Club is a classic.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
have Lost Boys is a classic.
Oh yeah, that
You
definitely
have
is.
Obviously Back to the Future,
Mm.
Die Hard.
Ooh, yeah.
Even like do you remember what's his name? Five-O? Yeah. Five-O Goes West. The
What?
little movie about the mouse. And he was like
I
a
don't
little
remember
German
that.
mouse, and you don't remember that? Five-O Goes West? Oh my God, that. Speaking of classics, that's a classic. That's a classic. You need. We're gonna put that on. I know it's on like Disney Plus or
man.
something, but or basically any movie with Brendan Fraser in it. The Mummy,
Pauly Shore.
Pauly Shore. Oh,
Yeah.
Encino Man,
Mm-hmm.
Airheads. Do you remember the
Mhm.
Airheads? When
Yeah.
it's
That
Brendan
was a
Fraser,
classic.
Pauly Shore, Adam Sandler. They're in a band together.
Mm-hmm.
That movie's amazing. I love Encino Man. That was when I realized I had the biggest crush on Brendan Fraser. Was that movie?
Back in the day.
And then what was that other movie that he was in with
Didn't he do one where he made a deal with the devil or something like that?
maybe?
But every time he did it, she put like some weird stipulations on it. He was like, I want to be rich. So she was like, all right. But then she made him a drug lord. And he was like, I don't want to be a drug lord. I just want to be rich. Y'all remember that?
I have no idea.
Oh, shit. You just did the same thing I did to you.
I have no idea. I
We
was
was
trying
talking
to
about the
think of
traveling mouse. I did the same
Well,
thing to you.
Yeah, Five-O Goes West. I remember that movie. I've never heard of. I honestly don't.
It was a Brandon Fraser movie. Anyway, we'll get back into that. What about iPod?
No, let's go back into Brendan Fraser.
Oh shit!
And the Mummy, and no, I'm kidding. iPods, yeah, that kind of brings us back to like the LimeWire days, because I I remember it was like the iPod Nanos and the iPod this and the
Yeah.
iPod that, and that was kind of like in like the high school days and stuff. And you had your phone in one pocket, your iPod in the other pocket,
Mm.
you this in this pocket. You had to carry 5 different fucking things.
Right now,
And what
that's
I
the
just
Stone
have
Age.
one thing in my pocket.
Yeah.
I can do that 20 times as fast. But
But
yeah, of course I remember
you did have to
iPods
go to like
and then
LimeWire or something
having to
because
go to LimeWire and
Apple charged you for
downloading it,
everything.
and then putting it, and then if you were like super OCD like me, you'd have to like rename all of the bands and
Yeah.
like
Because you got to convert it to
yeah,
MP3
you not
and
only
put it
convert
on
it to
there.
MP3, but then you like have to change the name back to like what the actual band name is,
Yeah.
and then
It don't
do
do
the
it
song, or else
automatically.
it wasn't going to all be put
together.
under the same file or
Yeah.
the same artist, if like, because it would be like Fallout Boy, like space fall space out space boy, and there would be one with no spaces, and there would be one with fall
Yeah, you'll
underscore
have a
out
whole
underscore
bunch.
boy, and then
Yeah.
you'd have it like FOB, and then
Yeah,
it was all the
that's
same fucking
true.
artist. And then
That's
you would
true.
have like, you know, the
That's
same
so
songs, but
true.
then like MP3 underneath or this and that.
I
And
remember
then
that.
I would be the one that had to go in and like clean it up and rename all the files, and hopefully it downloaded and stayed that way. But after a while, I was just kind of like gave up. But thank God
Because you got to
also.
keep, renaming everything.
Yeah, but thank God for shit like Spotify now and Pandora, where well, once again, it's kind of we're at an easier access to it, where I can just hop on my phone and YouTube it if I want to listen to this specific fucking song.
Oh,
Yeah,
they're
you
making
remember
everything
this? You
like
remember
that now.
Like,
They're making everything like
yeah,
that.
where I don't have to think
Where
about it.
You don't
And
have,
I like
you
that.
got it right there.
Is like, you know, if I want to listen to something different, like back in the day, like if I told you, you know, you're in the 80s or whatever, like, hey, can you imagine that you're gonna have this thing in your pocket and you can do whatever you want with it, right? You can not only like take pictures of high quality shit.
Yeah.
You can video record people whenever you, like, you know, like video record as well.
Yeah.
You can have a phone conversation. You can text them. You can leave a voicemail. You can also hop on the internet and do your shopping.
That shit
do
is
your
alien.
This, do your that.
You know what I mean?
And you're going to be like, and then not only that, but you can listen to whatever song you can possibly think of. And then some. And you're going to be like, how big is this device?
It'll pop up.
It fits
somewhere.
in the palm of your hand. You're going to be like, you're fucking crazy. That doesn't exist.
For real. That's like alien technology right there. And that's yeah.
But now it's kind of the stuff you've like taken for granted.
Like what?
In a sense, well, but like your phones and shit, and the
Oh,
fact
yeah,
that you can
'cause
have everything
everybody
at
got
your
one now.
disposal. Everything
Yeah.
now is about that instant gratification.
Yeah, anything.
You know,
like I said.
Like I said, like you had to work and download your songs or burn your CDs, or back in the day, copy that shit or wait for it to go on the radio so you can like tape it.
Yeah, that's how we did it.
And record your tape.
We would just record it on a tape.
Exactly. And you kind of had to like work for it in a sense. Same thing when you wanted to record a TV show. You didn't just press a button on your DVR. You had to buy the tapes, buy a VCR tape, and copy it, and do all of that shit. You kind of had to work a little harder for it.
Yeah.
So it is a lot of shit that we take for granted. And I mean, I'm grateful for it, but
they just made everything
also, like,
just so much easier.
Exactly.
I mean, they did. But at the same time, it made a lot more people lazy.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're 100% right. Because you can definitely talk about that. I feel like a lot of the stuff that happens is
what?
Like a lot of like we were just talking about right now, how you said like people get lazy. That absolutely is because I'm trying to think of like the best way to like word it out.
Yeah.
But it's honestly just because of the way we were like kind of like raised and like grown up to be, because you were able to go out, you know, until the street lights came on, and you didn't have a cell phone in your pocket to have a full connection with your moms or whoever to make sure you were okay 24/7 like your kids do.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't have all of these worries. that you do now as like a parent that you were as a kid,
Oh
where you could
yeah.
just like run free. Same as me, I had to go outside.
Yeah.
Like we had to go outside.
Go
If it was
outside
the
and play.
summer and we were staying home, I know you probably had the same thing too. Like I had babysitters and stuff, so when we were
Mm.
dropped off at the babysitters, we couldn't go inside the house. Like we'd go inside the house, and then she'd be like, "All right, at this time, get out,
Go
and
play.
you go play, go do
Yeah.
whatever, do your thing, and don't come back in until I say so."
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be for hours.
Yep. Yep. Stay out there
And I don't know
forever.
what the babysitter was doing inside the house, but I mean that's what we just couldn't be in there. We had to go out.
Oh
But we
man.
like had our own imagination and did that stuff, and that's where I feel like a lot of like certain stuff is like lost in a sense.
Yeah, cause I mean, what you're saying is basically like, shit wouldn't be the way it is now if it wasn't for all that shit.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? That's what made it all happen. You know, it
Mhm.
started from something. It started from something simple, like you go from 8-track to cassette to DVDs and
It's
CDs
yeah, because you're always like
to just straight out
how
computer
can I
files.
make this better? How can I make this better?
Yeah.
How can I make this better? And we're
Yeah.
evolving in that sense. But it's also there's a lot of stuff that is lost because I mean like pulling out a record
Oh
and
yeah,
playing it on an actual
and hearing
like,
that
record
popping
player
noise
and
as it's going
the
around.
scratches a little
Yeah.
bit and like there's something that like that nostalgic feeling you get even though I didn't grow up with it but I can still feel it.
Oh yeah, no,
Same
I
thing
get
to
you.
you
Yeah,
where
yeah,
like there's little things that are lost like the VCR like going into Blockbuster and renting a movie and then taking it home, watching it, but before you turn it back, you have to rewind
rewind
it.
it.
Be
Yeah,
kind and rewind. You have to rewind it all the way back and then send it back in, or else you get charged a fee.
Yeah, see, and now you know that made me think like
Or
but it was
you
family.
rented the movie. Did you ever rent the movie, pop it in, and realize nobody rewinded it?
Yeah,
So you had to
I've
go
done
and
that.
rewind it all the way
Yeah.
back and start it over. And you're like, oh, but I really wanted to watch this movie.
That
Oh my
shit
God,
take
tell me when
like
it's
15
done.
minutes.
But you like had to wait and make sure that you didn't see any like
Yeah.
plot twists or things, and you're like, ah.
Yo, you can hit a button now to rewind something. Back then, you had to wait. You had to wait for that shit.
You're one click and it's
It's
5
all the way
seconds and you're
back.
all the way to the
Yeah.
front. Back in my day. That's what I feel like this entire episode is gonna be like. Back in my day, we had this and that.
But no, but it feels that way, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's at the same time, it's like, damn, we've come so
So
far.
far.
You know what I
so
mean?
far, but also it's nice to kind of look back at these things with a sense of like love and nostalgia for it because
Oh yeah,
I
absolutely.
did love growing up with TV shows like Recess and Real Monsters.
What about the
and,
Golden Girls?
Oh yeah,
You
fuck yeah, the
remember
Golden
that?
Girls. I Love Lucy.
Mm.
What was the other one? The Carol Burnett show is what
Mhm.
my mom make me used to watch with her. When my grandma, all the time, my mom's mom,
Yeah.
she passed away, but me and her used to watch. This is where I got my love from horror was from her. My love of musicals and my love of horror was from this woman because we would sit down and we would watch stuff like The Twilight Zone and Alfred Hitchcock movies like Psycho.
Oh wow, Alfred
and,
Hitchcock.
yeah.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And then we would go and watch West Side Story or Rent and those musicals.
Yeah.
And it would kind of like it would have that balance and stuff where it was like, oh, this crazy horror thriller stuff, and then it also like, yeah,
Like the
but it was
Rocky
it
Horror
was that
Picture Show.
nostalgia. Oh, I freaking love Rocky Horror Picture Show. I still have
Yeah.
yet gone to the theater and done that whole like production where you can go and
Where you
dress
can-
up and like,
yeah.
do all that things. If somebody wants to take me, please do, because I want to go so freaking bad. You have no idea.
Oh man. Yeah. I mean.
Damn it, Janet.
Oh
Let's do the time
man.
again. Yeah. course.
Yeah, and so now, we're in like the video era where I remember when your whole entertainment system could be just a PlayStation or an Xbox. It will play DVDs. You can download with Netflix on it.
That's kind of still how it is now.
You know what I'm saying?
As long
No,
as
it
you
comes
have
with
like
the TV now. Or you got to get like an Amazon Fire Stick.
yeah, but I mean that's kind of how it is.
Sort of,
now.
kind
You know,
of.
like if you have, I mean, most gaming systems have that shit already on it
Yeah,
now, and it's like, hey, let's watch a bunch of movies, or I can play my shit.
yeah,
Either way.
yeah.
But yes,
Before
that was
before the
that was a
TVs
that
had
was
them
like a
in
earlier.
there already. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was earlier.
that was yeah.
Just the little things that we skipped. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
we didn't really. That kind of went by so quick. You know what I mean? Like you said. Remember rewinding the VHS tape.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That shit took a long time. You sat there for like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, but you had enough time. Like if that did happen to you, you had enough time to like pop your popcorn, go to the bathroom, get yourself a drink real quick, grab all the blankets and pillows, put it in the living room, get everybody ready. All right, you guys good? You guys good? Everybody went pee. Everybody got their snacks and down. All right, and then
yeah.
Restart it.
and even music is completely 100% digital.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
TV
you
shows,
can buy
movies,
physical
music,
things,
everything. Even talking to people now. When back in the day, it was always a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
It was never texting because you had your flip phones, and if you wanted to send a text, you had to sit there and hit the button
like
2 to 3 fucking times before you get one letter, and you're sitting there texting for 10 minutes, and all you got out is, "What are you doing?"
You know what I mean? Yes.
And that's where all the WID, all the acronyms and shit came
and the
from.
happy faces and everything.
And yeah, but you know, because to make it all shorter, it's like I don't want to text this all out.
Yeah.
Let me just hit the 3 letters real quick, send it up.
Dang, I remember that you had to click that shit like 4 or 5 times.
God forbid you needed a Y.
Uh-huh.
You know, stupid. But
when you had to switch it to the number.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Or if you accidentally switched it to the number and you're like, why is it? Why is
only
it
putting
doing
nines
this?
out. Yeah.
Why is it only putting 9s out? Exactly. So everybody, because of that and that bullshit, everybody was calling, but then you still had to pay for minutes and stuff. It wasn't like your $60 plan and you get your internet,
everything.
You're this and you're that, and you're everything.
Motherfucker had to call you
had
after
to pay
9
per minute, and then call me
free
after 9 because it's free after 9.
Yeah.
But I
mean, was rough.
Kids these days will never understand the satisfaction of actually being able to hang up the phone on somebody.
And I mean like
phone, even like phone into the receiver, like that click is satisfying as it is. Even the and then the snap in half when the phone like just click. That part, oh my god, yes. Nowadays, what can you do? Push a button.
Yeah, they don't even have down tones anymore.
No,
remember you'll pick up a phone and be like, ooh.
No. Only on landlines, and those are dead now. And God, oh my god. Do you remember the actual, like, everybody had, like, a voicemail machine? Because it was
with
separate.
Little tapes in it.
It was separate from your phone. You had to buy something. Yeah.
You know, I was watching Friday yesterday, and I started cracking up because she was like, I know it's your girlfriend because I star 69'd her ass. You remember that shit? I was like, oh shit, she said star 69.
Star 69, or was that the one?
That was the callback, and
was that
the number would pop up.
Oh, okay. What was the one where you could do the private? Like you do star. I thought star 69.
Star 68. I thought was where it'll block your number.
It'll block your number and you can call.
Yeah.
I remember that shit because we used to prank call all the time. me and my cousins when we were bored, because we would always go over to our grandma's, and all the adults would be hanging out and doing their thing, so all the kids would be hanging out doing their thing, you know. Anytime when you had like a big old party with, you know, like anytime the kid had a birthday party or something, and then
gathering.
after 9 o'clock it would turn into the adult party, so the kids had to
kids
go and
gotta
do
go in.
something. So what
Yeah.
are we gonna do? We're gonna go crank call some people, or we're gonna go play ding dong ditch on the neighbors.
Yeah.
Run back. What did you guys do? Nothing.
Yeah.
Don't answer that.
Yeah,
But
because back then they'll be like, okay, it's y'all turn time to go in, order your pizza, and tell you to watch something on the television.
Yeah, like
You
the
know?
adults want to go do their thing, and then now that we're the adults, we're gonna, we kind of do the same thing. We push the kids inside, and then, you know what I mean. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, it's past a certain time. You guys go lay down and watch a movie or
Yeah.
something. We want to go talk about adult
we want to
shit
go
and be an adult.
be adulting. Yeah.
And that's now it's understandable, but when I was a kid, I was like, you guys suck. Give a blame, fine, whatever.
Yeah.
But
That's a part of the culture. I mean, you know what I mean?
absolutely.
Everybody been through that. You know what I mean? Because
absolutely.
you can't just pawn your kid off, so you just be like, you got to go in another room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it was always like, oh yeah, most definitely, all the kids hang out together in one thing, or sleep in the living room, and they'd all be lined up in the living room on the floor, not on the couch.
Yeah.
On the
Never.
floor. And
on the floor, eating some pizza or eating some popcorn.
Heck yeah.
And chilling.
Yeah. Always some sort of candy or something. My grandpa, often, he still to this day does this. Well, he'll buy the big buckets of red vines, and now he'll just leave it on the table for anybody to grab. But we would just take it, put it in the center of the kids, and it was gone for a while.
Those are so damn good.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's my favorite thing about like visiting grandparents is the candy dish.
Oh yeah.
What you got in the candy dish?
Oh yeah, that.
It's like, oh, it's so nice to see you.
That shit took me back. Cause they had a candy dish. You go in there. That right.
But
there.
I feel like my grandpa
classic.
is top tier with the candy dish game.
Why? What do you put in
Because
here?
you've been there before. Not only does he have like a glass candy dish, well, he'll put like, and it's anything that he buys himself. He'll buy in bulk.
Mm-hmm.
He'll buy like the big bags like of the shit that you buy on Halloween. You know.
Yeah.
Of like the 32 pack of mixed candy, but it's not hard candy. It's the good shit, like the baby Snickers and like the Reese's cups and stuff like that.
The baby roots. And
yeah. And he'll like whatever he's feeling at the moment, you know, and he'll just put it in the dish. But then I got him for Christmas, because my grandpa does have a very big sweet tooth. I got him this chocolate box with it was like a 2-tier chocolate box with a drawer pulled out. It was a nice little drawer, and he kept it. And I don't blame him, you know, because and I'm so glad he did, because he just shoved more candy after a while in it, you know, just replaced it, and it was so cool, because I'll walk in late at night and I'll be stoned as fuck because I'll be in my car hotboxing. I'll walk in and then I'll look at the candy dish and it will just like, you know, that heavenly like.
You was lucky.
You open it up and then you have the
Snickers, Mars, Twix.
Twix and you know oh god, stuff like that. Man. You want to talk about nostalgia?
I always got
candy.
Hard candy.
What about like that was my other grandma. She did the hard candies. But do you remember like the strawberries and cream Lifesavers? Those ones?
Yeah.
I loved those ones. And the strawberry one that had
damn, whatever happened to Lifesavers? Them shits was good.
The Lifesavers have always been a thing. I still are. I don't know if the cream Lifesavers.
They got the gummies now. Though,
oh
right?
Yeah. Those gummy ones are good too. But what was I just talking about? Yeah.
The Lifesavers.
The Lifesavers, but the other one's the strawberry one with the gel in it. Mm-hmm. And it was wrapped up in a little strawberry like wrapper with a little green top.
Damn.
It was a hard candy.
Yeah.
Those ones always loved.
Damn. That's damn. I don't think I've seen a Lifesaver in a long time. Now that you mentioned it,
I used to get them for Christmas in our stockings. In our stockings, I used to get the Lifesaver ones, but my favorite were always like the butter rum Lifesavers.
I don't remember butter rum.
It was like a rum flavored, like butter rum flavored Lifesavers.
They actually put that in Lifesavers,
good.
And they like taste like rum.
It tastes like sweet, almost like a caramel, like.
Cause that shit was like candy.
Yeah, it was. But you know how like it would come in like the pack of Lifesavers, you know, like the roll of
Mm.
them, and it's just like a hard candy,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and you'd have, but during
There was
Christmas
different
time,
flavors.
my mom would always give us like a Christmas collection. It was like a book of it, and
Mm-hmm.
it had like 3 or 5 rows in it, and one of them was like the original flavors. One of them was like all red. The other one was like a butter rum butterscotch one.
Fuck, I never seen that.
Oh my goodness.
I do
You took
remember
me
that.
back. You're like unsuppressing memories with this episode.
Oh man, I remember them having a lot of different flavors. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
Because they had like the original strawberry or the cherry, orange,
yeah, the cherry, the
green.
orange, the
Yeah.
watermelon, whatever that was, watermelon, whatever. But they had a different flavor. Yeah. Do you remember like the Nintendo DS, the little handheld games?
Oh, yeah. I always wanted one of those.
What about a Game Boy? You remember
I started
Game
off
Boys?
playing, well, yeah, of course, I grew up.
Tetris.
Um, the console that we had when we grew up was the N64, the Nintendo 64.
Mm.
And we used to do the Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Oh yeah.
We played what was the other one? Super Smash Bros. Mario Kart, the Pokemon games, Zelda, anything you can think of that we could get our hands on.
Damn.
The Ready to Rumble bullshit. We had like a huge collection, and we would just play it. It was always the N64 games. I definitely remember that for sure. And then it kind of went into an evolution. And
Little
what was it?
handheld.
My cousin had a Game Boy, so we always played with, or the GameCube. She had a GameCube. That's the actual cube. Yeah, that's another console. Actual fucking cube. Yeah, she had a GameCube. We played that.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
shit.
then what was it? Game Boy. My stepbrother had. So he had like the Game Boy.
You had to put the little
Advance
cartridge in the
and
back.
Game Boys,
Yeah.
and he was obsessed with Pokemon. So he would always be playing Pokemon on his Game Boy, and he had like 2 or 3 little like the handheld consoles.
Yeah.
So whenever he wasn't playing or he wasn't using that one, he'd let me play. So I'd sit there and I'd play Pokemon, and you know, and like, how did you get past this guy? And he'd help me.
That's when the
But it
screens was like
all-
black and white.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
It was
all 8. What was it called?
8-bit.
8-bit.
Like, yeah.
Pixelated bullshit.
Very,
and
very
now
pixelated.
you go into games and
Shit look
they're
real.
better than movies
You know
in
what
the
I'm
sense
saying?
where there's certain shit where it's like, how the fuck
They
did
are
do
spot
that?
on some shit.
Absolutely. It's incredible. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Of course I remember
I don't
that
think
shit.
they
but
got
yes,
handheld games anymore though.
I don't. Well, now now it's the Nintendo Switch, right?
You can travel with that, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's like the newest handheld that came out.
yeah.
As far as I know. The DS, well, the DS is still kind of sort of popular. But,
Is it?
Kind of, sort of.
Oh,
But
wow.
it used to be really popular back in the early 2000s, early
Yeah.
2010s when it kind of came out. And that shit, I always kind of wanted one of those. But I ended up getting a PSP.
Mm.
And that shit was cool as well.
Yeah, and that shit was color. And
Yeah,
that shit was
and then
dope.
yeah, I got lucky and got it gifted for Christmas. And I
That was
like,
more
what
than
the hell?
8-bit right there.
Yeah,
I think
that
we
was like
on
that was a
16
step
to 32.
up. And you're
Yeah.
sitting there and doing all of this shit, but it was like I wanted the DS for like the nostalgia bit.
Yeah.
Because I've already played with the DS and I know the games of it, and so I kind of really liked it and I kind of wanted to go there.
Mhm.
But the PSP was really cool. I just wasn't like knew what to do with it. You know, I was
Yeah.
like, okay, what now?
Yeah.
But then I realized how freaking cool it was, and
Yeah, a DS, you
Do the same
you
thing.
could look at that like a Nissan or a Honda. You know, no matter what, when it's going to
Oh,
grow
yeah.
in value, no matter how much you use it. Yeah, so that's because that's a classic.
Well, there's
Nintendo is
some-
a classic, period.
absolutely, Nintendo will always and forever live on.
Mm.
I remember like
PSP, you brought that up.
yeah, PSP, or then like when Wii became like a really big thing. The Wii.
Oh,
When that became, remember when that like took over the fucking world?
oh, yeah,
When they came out with the Wii, and then like you could do The
Everybody was on that shit.
yeah, and then you remember
Everybody.
the dance game? It started as Dance Revolution, where you had to go
Revolution.
to arcades and you had to go
Do the
to the
step and
actual thing
stepping.
and step on the squares and stuff until it turned into the Wii, and then now you're just doing it at home and
Yeah,
playing
the
the
pad.
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still
Wow.
so much fun playing those stupid games. Or the like Wii bowling
Yeah.
back in the day.
Damn, that took me back because I remember that. I remember when
Yeah.
they came out with that pad and you dance on it,
Yeah.
and everybody was doing that at home. Yeah.
But that was my favorite thing though, was like having those family like moments or game nights
Oh
type
yeah.
of thing where you're
Oh
getting
yeah.
everybody and everybody's doing it. You got your dad doing some crazy moves, or you have somebody doing that, or it was a blast. It was a
See,
blast seeing
you know what it
everybody kind
seemed
of doing
like
that.
now that we've been talking about it? It's like they just kind of took away the whole family bonding thing.
Oh yeah, because since
With
everything
technology,
is
we're
now
getting
about instant
further away from that.
gratification and having everything at your fingertips and doing everything
Hmm.
now, you are isolating yourself. It's because we all have different interests and we all have
Yeah.
different things, and since everything is at an easier access to us now, I can go and do my thing and go off and do this, and then you're gonna go off and do your thing, and you're gonna go off and do that thing, and you're gonna go off and watch your videos. It's like, but I
Oh
want to watch
yeah.
this in this room, so I'm gonna go and do that. And I want to go watch this in this room, so I'm gonna go do that. But I want to play this in the garage, so I'm gonna go play my video games in the garage while this person goes do that. And so you're all together but separate. And so
Hmm.
it does kind of separate us in that sense. Where
Yeah.
that's why we
Technology.
have those feelings of nostalgia, is because of things like that.
Everything else
You kind
kept
of
the
like,
family together.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like remember like the actual having like board game nights
Mm-hmm.
with the fam. That was fun.
Monopoly, the
Yeah.
game of life,
Oh yeah.
shoots and ladders.
Oh yeah. Shoots and ladders. Candyland. Do you remember
Oh
Candyland?
yeah, Candyland was a classic.
At Candyland.
That was a classic.
Great. I always played the Pretty Pretty Princess game when I was younger.
Mm.
And then what was another one? Oh, do you remember the elephant game? Where
Hungry
it had
Hungry Hippo.
No, not Hungry Hippos. It was like the Hungry Elephant game where it had like an actual elephant
Like a trunk.
and with the trunk, and it shot out butterflies, and you had a net and you had to catch the butterflies.
Oh shit, I remember that
Yeah,
shit.
I always asked my sister
Wow.
to set it up for me. Can you set up the elephant game for me? Can you set up the elephant game for me, please?
Hey, you think? Look how simple that was. And we were
Yeah.
entertained.
Oh,
You know
for
what I'm saying?
hours.
That was simple as hell.
Hours. And then oh yeah, that was cool. Or when you were in the pool and you played Marco Polo or Colors.
Oh yeah, Marco Polo.
Colors was a big game for us. With
What did you do in colors? Like red light, green light?
kind of, yeah. Well, everybody started at the end of the pool, right?
Mm.
It was kind of, and then you had one person outside of the pool, right?
Mm.
Their backs facing everybody, and they're gonna start naming colors.
Uh-huh.
As soon as your color is named,
You gotta
you have
start
to
walking.
swim to the other
Oh,
side of the
shit.
pool. As soon as that person hears something, they can turn around, dive in if they see somebody, and try to catch up to them.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
What happens if you get caught?
If you get
out?
caught, you're the person that has to pick the color.
Oh,
that has to start
shit.
saying the colors, and you're it next.
So if you ain't good at that, you'll be doing that
Yeah.
for a long
Oh yeah, and I sucked at swimming.
Oh,
But
shit.
my thing is I would always be the asshole that would like go underneath so you wouldn't hear me,
Yeah.
and then kind of just take off.
Yeah.
So I'd get a head start unless somebody said something,
Yeah.
I didn't
Stay
really
over there,
play with those
swim.
assholes that would go, she's swimming, but sometimes it was every man for themselves.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
I would be the person that would do the fake splash, so they'd think somebody went, and then like would try to like turn around and like, oh, fuck, you guys suck. So when they hear a splash, they think we're faking it next time, but it's
Yeah.
actually me like fighting for my life, trying to swim to the other side.
Oh wow.
But it was fun. And then we always played mermaids.
Mm.
Always played mermaids. I have to have the purple tail. I have to have the gold tail with sparkles.
We was the same way when we played tag and freeze tag and all
Oh
that.
yeah. Or
You know?
cartoon freeze tag.
Mm.
Did you play that shit?
How'd that work?
You had to like, in order for you not to get hit or touched,
Mm-hmm.
you had to say a cartoon.
Oh wow.
So if you could name a cartoon, it could be anything,
What
you know,
if
like Looney Tunes.
somebody
And
already said it?
then you're free to get hit.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
You can't use somebody else's word?
No. So if somebody
Ooh.
already said
Looney Tunes, you can't say it.
you added, yeah.
You
Like
gotta
that.
make up your own.
Yeah, you gotta come up with something else.
That's hard as hell.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then like what was it? You could go and like untag other people.
Oh yeah, like in freeze tag.
Yeah, but it was only
Come
after.
save me! Come save
come
me!
save me!
And there, but you always back in those times, it was like always a base.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Always base.
If you could get away
safe.
and you tag the
safe
base,
for base.
you'll be.
This is safe.
Yeah.
This is base. Yeah.
You good.
Yeah. But we always had a rule, like a time limit for safe, like because you always had those kids that like just stayed in safe. And it's like, all right, you guys got to play. You guys get 10 seconds in safe.
Yeah.
You guys got, or 15 seconds
That's how
or
it
whatever.
was. If you tag the base and you just put your hand on it, they can't tag you.
Yeah, as soon as you take your hand off.
Well, motherfuckers would just leave their hand on it. And it's like, come on, man, you cheating.
You suck.
Yeah.
You suck.
Cheating.
That's why we put that rule on. Okay. 10 seconds.
Man.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That threw me back, man.
Yes.
What? Do you remember when beach cruisers came out? It was a thing. And everybody just had to have a beach cruiser.
Everybody had to have a beach cruiser.
Yeah, tipped up their handlebars.
It was kind of the same thing when it, with skateboarding too. It kind of turned into like a longboard thing for a while.
Yeah,
or penny boards.
Yeah.
Penny boards were huge.
Penny boards and longboards. I think longboards came afterwards.
Yeah.
It was like penny boards was the thing.
Penny boards were huge back in the day.
Damn.
I don't know why, but
and rollerblades. Remember those?
Rollerblades are coming back now. Everybody's trying to like.
What?
Yeah, everybody's doing that now. Everybody's doing that, or trying to do like the rollerblade dancing and stuff.
They got rollerblade dancing.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that
Remember at the
sounds
rollerblade?
dangerous.
Well, there's like look up videos, dude. I think you'd actually love it because there's like people that go to the roller rink and do like have their little like tournaments or stuff, but instead of
where they be doing
the circles, you know how you used to,
going
where you're
around
just
and around.
holding on for dear life on the railing trying to go and do the circles and stuff. There's people actually like
shit. Some
being
people be going
graceful
fast,
as
some
fuck.
people going slow.
But now
There
there's
was some
people that are
graceful
like dancing
motherfuckers.
and shit with it too, and just smooth as fuck,
Yeah,
and making it look so
just
clean
flowing
and so
like
easy.
they floating.
Oh yeah, just incredible. And then you're sitting there and you're like, I can't do that.
Like I'm just trying to go in this circle without falling.
Yeah, I'm just trying to go forward without falling.
And if you needed to stop, remember if you didn't go out of the ring, you had to go into the middle.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Everybody would be looking at you and
It's
shit.
like, oh, she's stuck.
Like, why you in the middle? That was like the crash zone.
Yeah. Yeah, the shit was funny.
Oh man.
I think I told you before, like my 10th birthday was at a roller rink.
What?
Yeah, it was at a roller rink. It was like a surprise birthday party at a roller rink.
You did.
Yeah, and that shit was so much fun.
Yeah.
Like even though I sucked, I still had a freaking blast.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like nowadays, you don't have roller rinks anymore. You don't have dollar. Do you remember like the dollar theaters?
I was just about to bring that up. I was
Going
actually
into
thinking about that because I was like, people don't even go to the movies as much anymore because you got access.
Even
at
exactly
home.
because streaming services, or we can just wait a week and this movie's gonna pop up on our screens and we can watch it for free, or within the paid services. But I remember going to the theaters and doing the midnight premieres and staying in line, showing up at 5 o'clock after school. We'd walk home, get ready. Okay, let's go. We couldn't take an Uber. We had to take a bus because Ubers weren't a thing. Take a bus to the mall.
Yeah. Take
and then
the bus.
Wait in line, or grab something to eat real quick. Wait in line. Wait until midnight. And that's when we would play our games or talk our bullshit or, bring our card games and stuff. And
remember when you had to get a transfer because you had to switch buses?
Couldn't buy our tickets online. We'd have to wait to buy our ticket and then wait in a big ass line. Get our tickets checked, go in. have our seat or pick our seat.
You had to get unless you had a bus pass.
Yeah. Oh, true. Don't get me started on bus transportation. That could be an entire other episode that we could do. I am not a fan. And the shit that I've seen.
Yo, it was always some weird shit popping off on the bus.
Oh, hell yeah.
Man.
And then especially back in the day.
The tram, the tracks and all of that too now. It's
even
not just
then,
the buses.
Even then.
Yeah.
There's still some crazy ass people on public transportation. That's why I am so glad I can drive myself places. Fuck that shit. I've had to do it for a while. You remember back in the day, I would have to take the bus to go hang out with you and your wife, and just like, come on now. Yeah. When are you gonna be there? 3 hours? Why is it gonna take so long? I told you I'm taking the bus. You didn't want to pick me up.
Now public transportation is Uber and Lyft.
Yeah.
Like legit. People that have cars is like, I don't feel like driving. I'm about to go over here to this spot.
But I'm
Ubering.
But with that being said, it's also nice to have that as an option because
especially if you go drinking.
Exactly. My only thing is like if you want to sit there and like have your beers and shit, you don't have to sit in your car and be like, oh God, I hope I can make it home.
The modern day
Let me drive Braille, on the. For those of you that don't know what that means being so drunk that you're not driving by sight. You're driving by the feel of the bumps on the road.
Oh my
Just
God.
Make sure you're still in that lane.
That was a good one. You know to fucking wake up and pull over.
Don't drink and drive, guys. That's what that was my whole point was Uber's good for that. It's awesome for that type of shit. It's nice that we have that now, as it's so convenient now, and so there shouldn't be another.
And it's less than a taxi.
So do it. Absolutely, it's less than the hospital bills you have to pay, or getting bailed out, or dealing with a DUI, or any of that bullshit.
Yep.
On a serious note, you remember those? Speaking of, I was gonna say like your PSAs or your stuff like that. You remember your after school specials? That's what that felt like at that moment.
I'm a bill on Capitol Hill.
No, shit. That was
was that Saturday morning cartoon?
No. You're talking about School of Rock, not School of Rock. House of Rock.
Yeah, I think it was School of Rock.
No, School of Rock was the movie.
Was it?
Yeah, School of Rock was the movie.
House of Rock.
House of Rock was the one that was like, I'm just a bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, the cartoons back in the day.
But speaking of shit you had to watch in school was School of Rock. It was School of Rock. Was it School of Rock or House of Rock?
See, I told you.
Hold on. I swear to God.
That shit made me think about the cartoons though.
Was it House of Rock or?
But House of Rock, but I think it was School of Rock, the cartoon. I think it was the cartoon. It could be House of Rock. You could be right.
I could be absolutely wrong.
Fact checking this right now to make sure. Because I remember them little cartoons. But I don't know if it was. I think it was after school, not Saturday morning.
Oh, House of Rock is something different than. Is this School? What are we thinking?
Huh?
School of Rock is the movie. What are we thinking of?
I thought, no, it said it was something of rock.
I know.
I could have sworn it was School of Rock, but you know what? That
Schoolhouse Rock.
See, we both was right.
Damn.
We both was right.
I knew it was okay. So it was literally. It was
what
both.
We both said.
No. I was technically right because I kept saying School of Rock and House of Rock. I just had to put that shit together.
And I
Schoolhouse
was like,
of Rock.
and
I
I
was
was like,
fucking. Technically, I was right.
I was like School of Rock, but it could be House of Rock. You know, it was both.
Together, it was both. Technically, we were wrong. Schoolhouse of Rock, same shit. Whatever.
Rock.
You guys knew what we fucking meant.
Y'all know that's old.
Speaking of School of Rock, amazing early 2000s movie.
Yeah.
Loved that movie.
Oh, I love that movie too.
Along with what was another? Mean Girls. Mean Girls was top tier early 2000s movie. What was another one?
That's when they used to make like 10 Things I Hate About You kind of movies. You know
10 Things I Hate About You is I love that movie too.
That was a good. That was
or
a classic.
do you remember A Walk to Remember?
What was in it?
What was her name? Not Mandy Moore. Was it Mandy Moore?
Oh, Mandy Moore was popular during that time.
I think it was her, but she had cancer.
She had a bald head.
No, she was in it was this girl and this dude, and they went to school together or something, and she like told him not to fall in love with her, and he ended up falling in love with her anyways, and then it was because she was like sick, and she was like this like kind of like a Christian girl, and she was like sweet, and he was
that
like,
sounds
a bad boy.
so familiar. What was that called?
A Walk to Remember. It was supposed to be like a really sad, like heartbreaking
like a
movie.
tearjerker.
Yeah, because she like ends up dying in the end, or something like that. Yeah, she ends up like dying.
That's what I thought about John Q with Denzel Washington. You ever seen that?
No.
When his son need a heart transplant.
Oh yeah.
Man,
wait,
that was a motherfucking
Didn't he like end up holding the hospital like
hostage?
Yeah, I remember that movie.
And somebody died, and it was like, "That's my boy Hart."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That
was a tearjerker.
That one was a good one though.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. See, I feel like early 2000s or like Jawbreaker. Do you remember Jawbreaker?
Was that a cartoon or are you talking about the
No, that was a movie. No, it was like an early 2000s. It was along the lines of like Mean Girls
I said the Candy.
And Clueless.
Mm.
You remember those types of movies?
Yeah.
So Jawbreaker had like these 3 chicks, and they like played a prank on one of their friends by like shoving a jawbreaker in her mouth, but she ended up like choking on it and dying.
Oh shit!
It was kind of a dark, like thinking about it now, it was kind of a dark movie. I probably shouldn't have watched it when I was like 14. But shit, it was a good movie.
I mean, but look at cartoons too. Like,
oh yeah,
the cartoons went from looking like Tom and Jerry to Toy Story. Yeah. You know what I mean? That shit.
Well,
and Toy Story is a classic.
Oh, absolutely. And then they just remade it and did a whole thing on Buzz Lightyear.
Oh yeah,
the Buzz Lightyear movie.
Yeah,
that one. Did you actually watch it?
Yeah,
it was cute. I liked it. But and then what was it? Yeah. But that's kind of what they're doing now, is taking those old nostalgic movies and redoing it. Like, I think they just did it with Pinocchio.
Shit! Like the real originals.
Yeah.
Like Dumbo, Pinocchio,
yeah, they're
Cinderella.
Redoing all of them. The Little Mermaid. Excuse me.
And how it's gonna be? Like, it's gonna be like Toy Story.
I think so. No, well,
like 3D sort of, whatever kind of digital shit.
I feel like anytime like a classic is remade, it's being remade into like this darker, more like edgy version of something where it's kind of like, oh, come on now, like you don't need to lose like the essence of where that movie was.
Yeah.
And
now you gotta put
you don't need to
TV
fuck with it. Stop fucking with it. Go
shit.
create something different. Like
TV,
go
PG-13.
make something else. Come up with something different. Don't touch the classics.
Yeah.
Don't touch the classics.
And that's why they fucking came out with parental advisory. Yeah. Shit like that. No. They are doing that. They're making the cartoons more adult nowadays.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you look at certain, well, we've always had adult cartoons like The Simpsons and then South Park. I was never allowed to watch South Park or Family Guy or American Dad. And then now the stuff that they come out now with is a little more like Big Mouth and like
Oh
Little
yeah.
Demon
Oh yeah.
or the newer show.
Yes.
There's stuff like that where it's
Raunchy.
I couldn't get
Can't no
caught dead
kids watch
watching that.
that.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
like that's absolutely an adult show.
But they
But
are cartoons.
that's the thing though, is like cartoons, if you think about it, even back in the day, Looney Tunes, all it did was depict violence.
Yeah,
You
a
know, was
lot
it
of
necessarily
violence.
for kids or was it kind of based towards the adults? Come on now.
Yeah,
Who's
Looney Tunes.
who's
They used to be
actually
funny.
buying this shit? Who's actually putting it on? You know, you want the adults to be a little entertained as well. You're gonna slip in like a dick joke every once in a while or something, and then where the parents like, no, we could keep watching it. It's
Yeah.
cool. You know.
Even though we watching
But
Elmer Fudd blow Daffy Duck's freaking
beak
brain
off
off.
backwards, But still, it's the same shit. And I mean,
Oh
like,
man.
there's stuff where it's getting a little more like pushing that envelope in a sense where it's like, oh, how far can we go until it's too far? Because there's certain like episodes of like even Big Mouth that I've watched, and I'm like, this makes me like very uncomfortable because they're depicting children and there's certain shit and there's
Yes.
just like I don't know, like I don't really want to watch this show anymore, and I'll like switch it to something else because it's even then. But that's me. That's how I
No,
feel
I
about
I
it.
had I had that's how I
But
felt with I forgot the name of the show, but it's an HBO show.
oh, Euphoria. I remember because
Euphoria,
you were telling
yes.
me
And
that,
I felt uncomfortable
and
as
that's how a
hell
lot of people felt was
because
because
they were
it's
depicting teenage
teenagers.
girls, but they were like being naked and stuff, and it's
Oh
like
yeah,
I don't want to watch
and doing
this.
drugs and this and that and the other. But that's how a lot of now we're totally going off subject and just like to
I mean,
Hollywood
no, but
and TV in
it's still a
general
part of nostalgia
is
because
well,
the way the film has
absolutely.
gone.
But when you look at movies in general, they're always portraying a sort of lifestyle with teenagers that is highly, like sexually explicit, and there's drugs
Oh yeah,
involved, and
yeah.
it's not just Euphoria now, but if you look at the
TV
movie
shows that's
Jawbreaker,
on
or
Channel
even
5,
like what was that
13.
other movie, oh my god, it had the one chick in it.
What?
Oh god, where is it? Oh my god, what was it called? It was called
I
like
mean, they
was it
got a
like
TV
Lethal
show called
something?
911. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
but I
saying?
mean, but that wasn't the point I was trying to make. I was just trying to make that no matter what day and age it was,
They was
Hollywood always depicted a sort of glamorized high school
yeah.
thing where they try to like sexualize it in a sense and just
Oh,
make it something way more than it needs to be.
or that it actually should have been.
Or
Yeah.
actually is, because
Hmm.
you remember back in your actual high school days, there are certain things that are like, oh yeah, kind of was kind of like that, or absolutely fucking not. Never in my life has that happened.
I mean, there was cheerleaders. There was girls who were, tight skirts and all of that. You
People that
had
did
that.
this and that, and then your
Yeah.
rumors about the chick giving a blowjob underneath the stairwell or
Yeah.
getting
Right.
hot in the
Right.
bathroom or blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah,
You heard all
or the
that shit.
parties or the this or the that. You heard everything,
The
but I mean,
fight
it
across the
hasn't
street at
really
Burger King.
changed that much. I
Yeah.
miss those days. That was fun though. Was going across the street to the little burger joint and
Yeah.
everybody ordering one order of fries to split because you all
That
pitched in
that
your
some
money
bitch be
together.
packed though. It be
Yeah,
packed. Yeah.
absolutely. Everybody would go and be there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But those was the days.
Those
You know
were.
what I used to think though? I thought by the year 2000 it would be like Back to the Future.
You think so?
That's what I used to think.
I felt like
I felt
I
like
felt
that's
like
how it's
that's
gonna
how
be
it was
during
gonna be like now
2025.
for like 2020, the 2020s.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was gonna be like Back to the Future shit.
Oh, that's how
or
you
like
thought.
yeah, or like Spy Kids shit where have you ever watched Spy Kids?
Yeah, the
You know how
technology
yeah,
was
the
different,
technology there where they just put a little disc in the microwave and it popped out. It was like
and
a
it
full
was
plate of
like, but it was a
McDonald's.
bomb ass dinner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Legit.
And it was, and yeah, that was just product placement for the movie, but it also was like, I want that.
Yes,
And oh yeah, they totally can think of something.
but it was like at the snap of a finger,
Now all we have is air fryers
and motherfucking
and
DoorDash.
Instapot and DoorDash. Yeah, but I mean, hey, don't.
We're nowhere
Uh,
near that time. We're nowhere near that. Like I
oh
was
yeah.
thinking about Total Recall. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
absolutely. You'd think. I feel like this is where we get into the conspiracy type stuff.
yeah.
Is where I feel personally like we already have that technology, but they're hiding it, and
Mm,
they don't want to give it out to the public
bringing it out a little bit
a
at
little
a
bit at a
time.
time. Because
Yeah.
if they give you too much, then you're gonna know something is up.
They want to dumb us down anyway. You know
Absolutely.
what I
So why
mean?
not
So,
distract us with instant television and instant food and instant
yeah.
gratification? And let me dangle this carrot and this shit over here so you don't see the shit that's
Yeah.
going on over there.
And that's nostalgic in itself.
Oh yeah.
Because people have been fighting the government since the 60s. You know what I'm saying?
People have been fighting the government since the government has been created. Come on now. Let's be
I'm
real.
saying from our perspective, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn.
You, as
You
far
even
as you
bro-
remember,
even though
you
we went
remember
off on
when
the
the riots are
conspiracy
starting
shit.
and this and then that. Like you remember growing up and hearing about that stuff, just like I
Yeah.
remember hearing about certain stuff as well.
Mhm.
Like big things for you were like, you know, you had like the riots and the Rodney King beatings and
Yeah.
the this and the that, and then we had the school shootings, and then you know
Every
like
era
9/11,
has
and then
its
this
every
and
era
everything.
has
had-
that shit going
And
on.
then ours has multiple.
Yes.
We've had how many end of the worlds, you know? Like
Yeah.
speaking of, do you remember the
Y2K?
Y2K bullshit? All of
Yeah.
it. The internet's going to explode.
Everything's gonna go dark and black. There's not gonna be no bank security systems. Nothing.
Everything's dead. Pull out all of your money. Stuff it in your
Mhm.
mattress.
Yeah.
Hoard your food. Get a bunker. I still like the 60s bunkers idea.
Yo.
I feel like that is genius, and I'm just saying.
Yo. You just made me think of something.
What?
No, remember
No,
how you used to
continue,
talk
continue.
to people online and
Oh
shit?
yeah.
That was like before catfish is catfish now.
Mm-hmm.
That was catfish.
Absolutely. Everybody was
Messenger?
catfishing everybody on Messenger. Do you think you were really talking to another 16-year-old boy named
You know what I'm saying?
Clark or Kent or
You know what I'm saying?
Come on now. Go fuck yourself. I'm
Man.
sorry to say it, but
Now
that
people doing it
like
on Facebook.
15-year-old girl from Russia named Svetlana was probably Butch in the basement.
You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you
Absolutely.
right now. Now it's
Because
Facebook.
I
It's
feel
sliding in the
like-
DMs.
I feel like because of the show Catfish and because of that whole movement, it's becoming a little harder to do it. And there's more like
because
I feel like it's
being
not. I'm not
caught.
saying like, oh, you got to be stupid to get catfished. I'm just saying
No.
like you have to be really smart in order to catfish people now, or you
Yo,
have to
you
just
gotta be
work
much
really
smarter.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be about being smarter. You just have to work really hard in order to do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, why are you going to go through that effort? Going through so much effort to pretend to be somebody you're not.
When
back
everybody
in the
can video
day-
chat.
Exactly. I can have
Everybody.
it on my phone in 3 seconds as long as if you
If
are not answering my FaceTime call, you're catfish. And
Yeah.
as soon as I know,
If you-
and people
or if
aren't
you're-
afraid to
if
call
it's
it out
black.
anymore, you know, and be like, you're catfish. It's like, oh no, I'm not. Prove it.
Yeah.
How? FaceTime me.
Mm-hmm.
Prove it. Okay. All right, now I believe you.
You don't have to send a
Can't do
picture
it.
with the
Can't do
time
it.
on it, touching your nose
Oh yeah, like
to
back
prove
in the day.
that you. That's you. You
You're
don't
not
gotta
even-
do
well,
that no
but
more.
also like back in the day, they didn't have that shit. You know, you had to have Skype. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
you had to have an actual webcam. It wasn't like already built into
Damn.
your computer. You
Oh
had
yeah,
to
you had to put it on
buy a
top and buy
webcam
it.
and hook it on, adjust it real quick, and
Yeah,
make
and the
sure.
internet was not good, so that shit'd be like glitchy.
Oh,
you'd
yeah.
You'll be talking, but it'd be glitching
And so
out.
it was an easier excuse. Oh, I don't have a webcam. Oh, I don't have that. Oh, we can talk on the phone, and it's easier to disguise your voice.
Yeah.
You know, a little more. But I mean, like, you didn't have that easy of an access, or
Nope.
you know, that much to be like, hey, are you sure? Like that, where you had to be a little smart.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Now it's like, if you can catfish, you straight dumb.
I wasn't trying to say all that, but I mean, like, it's one of those things where it's like, really, that should be dead now.
Yeah.
But also, you know, if you're still doing it,
You're
it's
still
just
making
that's
episodes.
something completely different. You know, yeah, absolutely.
I
That's
slid
one of
into
those
her
things where it's like,
DMs and
kinda
we
feels
just
like-
started texting.
But my thing is like, how can you be in a relationship without like wanting to like be next to them or like?
Do you love her? Yeah, man, I love her.
Well,
But what if
she
she's
sent
out?
me like 10 pictures. She must love me. But she won't
Oh
answer
man.
my phone calls
Yeah, she
or
won't
meet
FaceTime
me,
me
and she's supposedly 40 minutes away
away.
from me. Whatever.
Now you gotta call Catfish for help.
Need help.
That's funny.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I remember?
Go ahead.
What? Would you?
I was like, do you remember the show like Cheaters?
Oh, yeah. You know what? We
Or
wanted
like
some
Maury.
drama so bad.
I loved those types of shows. Like getting,
Those were
that
some
was
of
the best thing about not being
some
able
of
to
the
go to
first
school
reality
because you were
shows.
sick. Absolutely.
Maury
Was
Jerry
Maury,
Springer.
Jerry Springer, and then later on it was like the Steve Wilkos show, and then
Oh, you might catch one of the Judge shows.
oh, Judge Judy, Judge
Yeah.
Mathis, loved them all. And then absolutely, what was the one we were literally just talking about
What,
right now?
Family Feud?
Not
You had
Family
to watch
Feud.
that.
No. Cheaters.
what?
Cheaters.
Yeah,
and then
Cheaters.
Cheaters would pop on, and Cheaters was hilarious. Because it would just be
God.
like this dude who'd show a video and be like, okay, so we see your husband or your wife, right? Like, oh, so
Yeah.
here's your wife
She's
meeting
with
up
the
with
man
another dude
right now.
that happens to be her coworker that she says is her coworker, John. And he's like, yeah, that's John.
It's
And it's like, oh yeah, right. But right now they're in the bar and they're just being all cuddly. And then if you look and then they zoom in and they're like, now they're making out. She is kissing John. Do you see that? And then like they'll follow him home and then be like, oh yeah, she's
And they'll bust out of vans.
she's plowing him hard.
And they went
they'll
in
tell
for a nightcap.
And they went in for a nightcap, and then he'll tell the guy, he'll be like, yeah, they were inside, blind shut, door locked for about 35 minutes, and then she walked out with her dress kind of like adjusted or something, and then they kissed when they left.
That was
And then the
first
confrontations were always the best. Always the best.
and
Because
now
the dudes
for
always felt
the
like they had to fight.
confrontation.
Yeah. And now, are you willing to? Are you going?
Hey,
to
that was
what are
like
you going to
I
say?
know we talked about Real World and all of that being the first, like what we call it,
Actual
reality TV. Yeah,
TV,
but
yeah.
that nothing had as
That
much
was-
drama as Cheaters.
Yeah.
that
That
was like the
that was
ultimate drama
ultimate.
show.
I loved that. I feel like the Real World and like stuff like that when it came into like the later like
Yeah,
2000s 2010 era when like Jersey Shore popped off
Yeah.
and the challenge
that was a whole different
and
thing right
a
there.
whole nother like
Lane.
lane of reality shows where all the drama came in, and I absolutely loved it. Like Rock of Love, Flavor of Love,
Yeah.
remember the Tila Tequila show,
Mhm.
Shot of Love with Tila Tequila, loved it, loved the trashy, any sort of like
Yeah.
trashy Bad Girls Club, like I
Mm.
wanted to see
It was all
the
drama.
the drama,
was
yeah,
just
absolutely. Give me
drama.
the tea, give me the drama. What did she say? Who bought the note? Like,
And you would just
everything.
make sure that somebody didn't
Yeah.
see that shit before
And-
you.
and not only
You know what
that,
I'm
but it's
saying?
all huge. Like when it became like reality TV became a thing, a lot of like pop cultural moments became like
Yeah,
immortalized in a
Yeah.
sense. You know what I mean? Because
that's true.
now that all of that popped off, you have these like iconic pop culture moments that you will
Mm.
never forget.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
exactly.
Damn.
And then like same thing with like memes now, like how memes like kind of evolved. Do you remember they were like handwritten?
Mm-hmm.
Like the FU guy and the rage guy.
Oh, they
There
would
was like
scratch
5 different
something
guys,
out
and it
and
was
put
like
other letters and
yeah.
shit.
But do you remember how like the original memes looked like, and it was these drawn out guys, and you know there was only like 5 things, and then now it's something completely different.
Now it's actual people.
Yeah, and now it's just pictures, you know, and
Of
it's just
fucking
funny screen
celebrities
captions
and
and just
shit.
everything can turn into a meme. You get turned into a meme, blah, 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 blah. But it's just so funny. And then like now you communicate with them.
Yeah.
You know, like I
Yeah.
can send it to you, and you know exactly what I mean,
A
and you send it
gift.
to me, and it's like same shit.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah,
And yet we still aren't where Back to the Future was.
absolutely not. And unless the government wants to release the alien technology they were given. I don't think we'll ever get there.
She said if they want to release
Are you gonna sit there and tell
the
me that I'm
alien
wrong?
technology
Am I
that they
wrong?
have,
But I
do you
mean,
really want to move forward that fast?
I don't know.
How do you, I mean, how do you feel
I
about
don't
that?
feel like I honestly don't feel like a lot of people are ready for certain stuff.
As
Because
such as, this
as
is where I
moving
agree
forward
with you.
in life,
Yeah.
where like a lot of people are still stuck in the mental state of like the 50s and the 60s,
Yeah.
and they're not willing to move forward and think. Like a lot of people don't like change, and I always make that joke too. You know, when something happens, I'm like, oh, I don't like change.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm still willing to adapt to it and move forward and
Oh,
want to
yeah,
do
you
that
got
and like
to.
see what else is there and have a better opportunity.
Time
But
don't stop. You got to move.
and time never stops.
You
It's
got to
continuous,
move.
right?
Yeah.
And you got to kind of roll with it. And the great thing about time moving forward is all of these new things that are coming out because of it and are being produced because of it. And I would love to be a lot farther ahead
For the
than
sake
where
of
we
that
are.
stuff.
But just not just for the sake of that stuff, to see the cool stuff and like
Yeah.
technological advancements and stuff like that, but like, but yes and no, but also like a spiritual kind of a thing in,
Oh,
in
the
a
growth.
sense, with just
The
a growth.
growth,
Like I want to
yeah.
be over
The
there,
growth,
you know,
yeah. And I also
and hopefully
think
like just like us, the world, like as a whole. I want to be in that next step,
yeah.
and I feel like it's just we're not ready for that.
We keep going backwards and backwards
Consistently, we
We'll
always
go
talk
forward
about
and
how
then we'll
like
go backwards
history
and backwards.
repeats
Yeah.
itself and old trends pop up. Like now the Y2K trends are popping back up and other certain shit that's popping back up. And
Oh, a lot of things that
becoming
was from
more
the
popular.
80s is
Same thing with the
coming back.
80s. Yeah, absolutely. Where older trends are just coming back in, and we're just gonna be stuck in that cycle instead of like moving forward. And it's not just about trends; it's just about our mental state.
Yeah.
And like thinking, you can't like you're just like recycling this and not going forward. And like we just want to like I want to go forward.
It's
you
like
know?
you said, people don't want to forget. You know what I mean? But I get
Of
that.
course, but I mean,
It's always gonna be there if
Yeah.
you think about it. Because the further we go, we still can tap into shit that's old.
Yeah, but
How we
there's
got
certain
all
shit
that.
that's lost. There's certain stuff that you can't find anymore, and
No. I mean,
you know,
like
but
you
I
can
mean-
actually still. The further we go in technology, you still can learn about this shit.
absolutely.
Well, for us, we had to wait till the fucking encyclopedias came out.
Gotta go to the library.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and click clack on them
absolutely. If you
freaking
needed
big
to
old
write a
computers.
test and do all that
There
shit.
was no laptops to take to school, no
No.
USB chips.
Chips.
You know what I'm saying? You know, the USB, you can't just put your assignment
You
on
are
that.
old.
You know what I'm
Right?
saying?
Your USB chips and your
Hey, listen. I had a typewriter as a kid.
Oh shit, yeah.
And when you had to type an essay
you're not
and you didn't know how to
fossilized.
type, bruh, you know how long that takes?
And then for me, right, so you had a typewriter and you had to use that. And then no, I'm just saying like the difference in moving, right? Like so how we move forward. So and then fast forward a couple of years and in school I'm learning how to type out.
Yeah.
Like we're playing games in the computer lab and learning how to type shit because that's going to be the future.
That's also happened because of
Like handwriting
AOL
is
Messenger and all of that. I mean, that started it. That's what
Absolutely.
got everybody put their hands on the keys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now it's evolved to your cell phone. And if you want to be lazy on the cell phone and don't want to tap every letter, you can swipe it now.
Or just talk to text. That was the
There you go.
No, now
Even
you
though
don't have to
sometimes
actually
that
be on the phone
motherfucker
with
say
somebody.
words
then,
that you know that ain't the words you said.
But in retrospect, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Most of the time
It's still funny shit.
Oh yeah, sometimes it autocorrects. Hilarious shit.
Oh man. Wow. And here we are in 2022.
Crazy, man.
Well, I'm thinking about 2025 now.
Really?
I am, because I feel like we are gonna make a push for the future. You know what I mean?
want to, but I don't. I
want to
feel
go on
like
a positive note, like
everybody,
you said, though.
everybody needs to like kind of band together. Now that everything, like I said, has that instant gratification that we talked about a little earlier, and we're all separated, I feel like that's what's causing it. So if we kind of like band together, and I'm not saying like put your phones down, da 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 da. I'm just saying like for a second,
put them in your pocket.
For a second, put it in your pocket, kind of talk and like realize that there's people around you that have the same ideas and the same constructs and want to move forward with you as well, and they can do that.
Yeah, if you want to get left behind, that's
now
okay.
that you have it in your phones, you can connect with so many other people, and there's so many things that you can do, and like in retrospect, like
you networking for real now.
Absolutely,
you don't gotta
but a lot
go
of people
door.
just take that for granted and just, and it dies right there and there, and it's shit. All right.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I've seen a lot of that evolution and just thinking
you
about
watch it happen. And it's still happening to this day, and it's going to continue.
I love where we're going. I just don't like, as far as the technology in the future goes, I love it. But as a people, we ain't moving as fast as the technology. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I agree 100% with you. But I also feel like if we're not careful, it's going to end up like WALL-E. Or like that one movie. What was that one movie?
Yes.
Oh, I keep forgetting. But it had that guy Dax Shepard in it, I think. But
Which
he
one?
like went to the future.
Zafira?
I think so. Like where he went to the future, and everybody was like super fat and like just chilling in the chairs.
And the chairs moved around.
The chairs moved around, but everybody's super fat, and they had literally had the TV screens like glued to their faces. That's basically what it was.
That's how I felt. I was like, either we're gonna be super high tech like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's gonna be like a tech war to where you got like Demolition Man, where people living underground, and they
like Mad Max style.
and then you got people that
type. I feel like that's where we're heading.
Like,
genuinely.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Like
they
it's
live
gonna be a crazy,
Like Taco Bell was like the premier restaurant in Demolition Man because everything else got destroyed.
Taco Bell is still luxury. Shout out. Live Moss. Not sponsored, but we
love
could
your
be.
chalupa.
Hit us up.
Yeah, man. But yeah, so I mean, I'm looking forward to it. But
yeah, absolutely.
As a people, we're not ready for it because, like
I'm
you
ready,
said,
like SpongeBob. I'm ready.
But like you said, though, we keep going backwards in the cycle. It's like
it's just a cycle. That's all it is.
It's like this. It's an oval, right? But the oval is moving real slow forward because we keep going back. You know what I'm saying?
People your oval?
Oh, it's like this. The oval's moving forward, but even though we're going forward, we still keep going backwards.
Absolutely, we're like I said, it's just that cycle. It is, and you got to break from it.
People still think things from the 60s, and it's like we don't live in that era or that time.
Absolutely not. Everybody, it's like you hear that it's 2020 whatever now. Like, stop thinking that way. Think bigger, think better. Like, are you really, it's gonna bother you the fact that the person that's standing next to you owning a house is black? No, just be happy that you have a homeowner next to you.
Yeah.
Why does it bother you that the gay couple wants to adopt a child? Just be happy that there's people actually wanting to adopt children.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Stop thinking that way. We can go and move forward and do so many better things. But instead, you want to just live prejudiciously and be hateful. And
just let
think
people
about yourself.
Live the way they want to live.
How is it hurting you?
And it's,
stop. Relax. Smoke a joint. It's legal now. God.
Yeah, man.
But let's move forward. I had fun with our nostalgia conversation.
It was
brought
great.
Up some really good stuff. But it is getting late.
All right. So
doing a late night episode today.
We're not gonna do sophisticated but we are gonna do sophisticated, complicated, or just hated.
All right, bring it up.
So it's which era did you like the most? The 80s, the 90s, or the 2000s?
Okay, so we're doing.
Or should we go 90s, 2000s, and 2010s?
Ooh. Okay, let's do 90s, 2000s, 2010s. No,
yeah.
I feel like 2000s and 2010s are very close.
They're different.
They're different.
They're damn different. Yeah.
All right. Ooh, I feel like that one's just gonna be harder for me.
Which
All right, so
which
I was born
era
in
do
the
you like?
'90s. Let's do that with Just Hated because I didn't need to be born. No, I'm kidding. Uh,
Oh shit.
oh, I guess I can say I'll put Sophisticated as the '90s.
Really?
Yeah, because I feel like
You say you hated
I was joking. I was absolutely joking. I think I'd put Sophisticated as the '90s. This one's a hard one, really, because I like it all for different reasons.
because you was able to
I wasn't. I was born in
able to go
'94.
back and
But if I had to
love the shit from the
choose,
90s.
you know, like I would have been able to enjoy that more, you know,
Yeah,
and go
yeah.
in and like
Oh, absolutely.
enjoy it because that's when I feel like the music scene totally like
Oh, it
changed
and
completely and
evolved.
it evolved into
Mm.
so many different subgenres and kind of like, dude, I would kill to go see Nirvana live or
That whole 90s
or any
to like
any band in particular that was that famous back in the day. But
90s to about 2010.
my
I think
dad
it was
had
dead.
Aussie tickets, right?
Mm.
And we found it. My mom kept like a cute little scrapbook of all the date stuff that they did, and they
Yeah.
went to Ozfest, right? I think I
Yeah.
mentioned this on my other
On another
episode,
episode. Yeah.
a podcast. It was $20,
Mm.
and that was back in the '80s.
Yeah.
I would have fucking died to go do that.
But we did
even
stuff
back in
like
the
keep those
90s,
tickets because we knew they was gonna
same
be
thing. Do you remember?
something that was worth something.
Do you remember
back in
keeping
the day.
movie ticket stubs in the and the,
Yeah.
not only movie ticket stubs but concert ticket
Now you don't
stubs?
get a ticket
Now
stub
you don't
at
get
all.
that
You get a
anymore. Like I
confirmation
literally
on your
I went to
phone.
go see Amity Affliction a couple weeks back,
Mhm.
and I was so stoked. And then I was hanging out and talking to my dude, and I was telling him, I was like, you know what, I'm kind of bummed nowadays that, you know, we don't get the actual tickets anymore sent out,
can't
so I
keep
can't
it.
keep it. Like I love those little keepsake things. Like there's only
Mhm.
certain ones that you have printed out
That's
or
just
that
on
got
your
sent to you, and
phone,
it's like,
and
damn,
the
it's only on your
UPC
phone,
code come up on your phone,
and then it just scan it and you go in, which
Yeah.
is cool and a lot easier now.
Mm.
But also still kind of a bummer because it's like, can you just send me the ticket so I could
So
have
now
it?
you got to look at old tickets on the internet to actually see what them tickets look like and what they said on them. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like,
But
you
I
can
loved
go
it
back
for
and
the
do the
keepsake
research,
thing.
but
Same thing with the movie
yeah.
stubs. I would always keep my movie stubs because it's like, oh yeah, on this day I went and we saw
like
this.
you
movie.
could
We
see
saw
on the
Monsters,
ticket
Inc., we saw
stub
Mean
that
Girls, we
you
saw this
actually
movie.
went to the premiere.
Yeah, it would say
You know what I'm saying?
Harry Potter premiere.
Yeah.
This person premiere. Yeah.
First
Absolutely.
showing, it would say
Yeah.
first showing on there. So you was like legit.
Midnight. It would have
I went to
12:01.
I went to the first showing, bruh. The one that
Prove
came
it.
out at midnight. Bam, got it.
Yeah.
Oh, went to the,
Shit.
you know what I'm
And then-
saying?
Absolutely.
We don't
So,
have that shit no more.
not anymore.
Damn.
So I would put '90s as sophisticated, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I have a just hated for this one, to be completely honest, because I don't really, it's a nostalgia thing. Like, I really don't have a just hated. If anything, I would probably pick maybe my high school days, because that was just awkward and sucked. So let's do like personal experiences, 2010s, kind of sucked. So I would put that as just hated, but
So you
on
can
the
flip flop
outside-
those two, but 90s is your shit.
absolutely. And then, you know, complicated, just hated, there'd be those two.
This is
Definitely,
actually
but I honestly
hard
loved
one.
both of them because outside of it, just looking into those eras and
Mm.
realizing all of the cool stuff that we had and just those little golden pop icon moments,
Yeah.
just like those things just
It's
cemented in history.
Mhm.
I love it. And that's what the nostalgia comes from. And there's certain things from the early 2000s that I love, the 2010s that I love, and
Oh,
the
yeah, you
90s
could
that I
definitely
absolutely
flip-flop
love. And
those.
I could go off and name a bunch of shit from each one that I did this entire episode. So it's really hard for me to choose that one. So yeah, whatever. Your turn.
No, this is actually a hard one. And the only
Exactly.
reason why, listen, this is hard because it's two things. It was the music and then the evolution of music, right? So we went through that
Absolutely.
whole evolution. But the 90s kicked off the bomb music. That's why I got to give it to the 90s. You know what I mean? That's sophisticated because
The
that kicked
90s
off just so much
kicked off all
great
of the
music.
great subgenres and
Oh, man.
evolution of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it stopped evolving for the better, in my opinion.
The music
Quality,
quality
yes.
got worse, and the access to music and the evolution of music
because
got
the access got better,
mm-hmm.
the music started getting polluted,
mm-hmm.
and there became a quantity versus a quality issue.
Right.
And and it's also where a lot of underground artists got to get discovered, which is great. Mm-hmm. Now that the internet got put into it, and even now, like, people are getting discovered off of TikTok and YouTube and shit like that. Like, look at fucking Justin Bieber and all of these kids. Or
Michael Kingston, is that his name? Michael Kingston, the reggae dude.
Probably.
Yeah, same way. He got discovered on MySpace.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways that you can, because you worked to do it. Yeah. But with that being said, it still got muddled up in a sense.
Yeah.
And it just kind of like.
And that's why you like going to a dive bar.
Well, I feel like
and they playing the old nostalgic music.
Everybody's playing the same sort of thing, and it's becoming more of like a generic sound.
Saturated.
And absolutely 100%. There we go. That's the word I was looking for.
And that's why we listen to old shit.
Saturated, but that's why we have Spotify and Pandora to play our older shit. It's like I still listen to music from the 90s to the early 2000s. I don't listen to a lot of newer stuff unless it's the bands that I honestly go through and cycle through that have created
like reggae
new music.
Bands, some of the rock bands that I love.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's certain bands that I listen to and it's like, oh, they put out new shit, let me listen to them, and then I'll cycle it through their new music.
Even though they're old. They're older, you know what I'm saying?
But they're like, like you said, like a 20-year-old band or something, and I'm still listening to all of their shit. But either way, I mean, but it's nice because, like you said, now that we have that technology, I'm not forced to listen to this bullshit on the radio.
Right.
You know, and like, oh, fuck.
I'm going to listen to my own shit.
I could put on my Pandora, hook it up to the Bluetooth or wherever, and just cruise and not have to deal with that.
So people
will be like, oh, do you listen to so-and-so? And I'll be like, I don't know who that is.
I don't really.
Like, not really.
The new shit, I got to really keep an ear for that.
Yeah.
Now I just put on iHeart and let it. I'll be like, play Fortunate Youth.
Yeah.
Boom. They'll play Fortunate Youth and everything like that.
Yeah. Same thing with me. I'll click so-and-so radio.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time it's like curated to what I like. So it.
And think about
this. That's the thing that I like.
It was just music. Now you can do the same shit with shows on television. On television. You know what I'm saying? If you thumbs up or thumbs down shit on Netflix, they should start showing you more and more shit that's like the shit you watch.
Absolutely. That's the whole thing about it. That's with everything now. It's because it's just collecting information and data and spitting it out.
Yeah, the algorithm. We're in that phase of life.
We in the algorithm.
You know what I mean? Where they check out shit that you like, you click on and then they can start showing you more shit of what you like on, so you can keep seeing the same shit.
If I say
and it's still a
certain word so many times right next to my phone, an ad for that place is gonna pop up. You know. Same thing,
so they still brainwashing people.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because if you was questioning some shit, but you constantly thought of some negative shit,
ads, and then you have these walking billboards, like your Instagram influencers and your these and your that's that are just selling ads 24/7.
Yeah.
To the point where they don't even know anymore, but you do, you know, and it's crazy.
I mean,
it's crazy. It's all
nuts.
like a cash grab, crazy. I don't know.
It's nuts. It's freaking nuts,
shit,
man.
But yeah, it's crazy to see
that's
how.
Where we live.
And that's why I say it's a me kind of situation
We've gotten
that we're
into
in
that.
now.
But that's a part of that cycle. We talked about that.
Absolutely, just going.
Part of that cycle.
Yes.
So 90s would be definitely my sophisticated, but I think it's gonna go in order for me. The 2000s. No, actually, I'm gonna flip that shit. 2010s is complicated for me
Okay.
because there's some weird shit going on right now. 2000s, we just had the Y2K scare,
But
the
2010s and
2012
2020s
scare.
are way different.
Yeah, yeah. It's
2020s are just beginning, and we're already in a new era. I
yeah.
feel because the
But I
2010s,
think
if you're going 10 years, right, 90s to 2000, great era,
right.
2000 to
10,
2009,
2010. Yeah,
or right,
right.
great era, and then
2010.
you're talking 2010 to 2019,
Mhm.
good era, but
But
all a crazy bunch of different shit.
no, but and I know we only 2 years into the 2020 era, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I still feel like in 2 years we are light speed ahead. You dig what I'm saying? Like
Yes and no, because
we progressed. That motherfucking
but
what's the name
for
shot
two
his own
the
rocket in
entire
the air.
yes, but for the entire 2 years, we were still dealing. We got pushed into a pandemic, and we got pushed into that crazy cycle, and all of this governmental bullshit, and all of the political bullshit that's popping up, and everything that's going back
Right.
into that cycle, and then you have Roe versus
Which
Wade,
is a
and then you have
old
this,
cycle.
and then you have that, and then you have the government trying to was it try to get rid of gay marriage laws and this and that and going
And
back
that
and
right
like I
there
said, that's where the
is the
cycle
people.
comes in,
That's the
and
people.
we're all of a sudden we got thrown back into the fucking 50s and the 60s again,
Yeah.
and it's like you said, it's the people, it's up to us to try to fucking fight that. And what are we doing?
The whole time
we're
while
ordering Grubhub and Postmates, and we're on Netflix, and we're binging movies, and we're watching our podcasts, and we're enjoying our own instant
the whole time we
gratification
going
of self,
through this
because fuck the
process,
world.
everybody's brainwashed. But while we going through this process, these motherfuckers is making cars where you could put your feet up and they could drive themselves.
Absolutely.
So the
Absolutely.
we
And
as
we've
a
all
people
seen
are
the
not
movies
moving.
where
But the technology is like
you all see what happens in any future movie, what happens when technology, like, when we're so dependent on technology.
you get fucked.
Exactly. It turns
'Cause you
around
took away-
on us.
you got
What do you
away
think
from
happens
nature.
to those self-driving cars?
Mm-hmm.
Drive straight off a fucking cliff.
Yeah.
Your robot
You on
slave
your
is going
phone,
to
let
murder
your car
you.
drive you.
The
You know what I'm
Roomba
saying?
is going to attack you. Alexa will no longer answer your questions.
Yeah.
She'll
Yeah.
lock down the house.
What are we gonna do, man? It sucks. And it also feels weird not having that human energy around all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because when we was little, that shit used to be all the time.
Everywhere.
Somebody was always with you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
You had your gang, your group, and
Yeah.
kids you grew up with. Doing
And when
your
we
bullshit.
separate, I'm calling you on the phone.
Yeah,
We talking
absolutely.
on the phone till we fall asleep in this motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I will put the 2010s in as complicated, and
So you're
the
putting
2000s.
2000s as just hated?
2000s is because it to 2000. The reason why I do that is because of technology. I feel like we are going places. And not as a people, just the technology. I know we got a lot of work to do as people, but the technology is getting so far from us. Even though we got cell phones, these motherfuckers is making cars that can drive. So it's just still like we stuck on the first gadget. When they trying to show us the shit, but we still stuck over here like, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And they
yeah, like exactly
ta-da.
what you said is we exactly we're living in this, and we're stuck on the 2010 trend still. And
we're in 2022.
We're over here. Look what we can do. Look what this can do. Do over this.
Look what's happening.
Move
you know what
forward.
I'm saying? You know
Go
what I mean?
forward. That was the whole point.
We're moving slow as fuck.
Hell yeah.
And I'm trying to catch up to that good shit.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to
you
do.
both, dude.
I'm trying to catch up to the good shit.
Well, fuck. On that note, man. So you'd say 90s is your
90s is
definitely sophisticated. So we agreed on that.
Hell yeah.
And then I really couldn't pick. I was kind of like flop it.
Because it can go either way.
It can go either way. And so you kind of agree. I feel like you kind of agree with me there. But,
oh yeah.
But you said your early 2000s was just hate it.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then your 2000s and 10s is complicated.
Complicated. Yeah.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
I can agree on.
Just
And
because
honestly,
we back in that cycle.
whenever
what I
we
mean?
play this game, this is the whole point of us playing this game and talking about it.
Mhm.
Is you can take any time that we play this game, you can take any subject and switch it out and have it
Mhm.
and mix it up. It's my opinion, it's his opinion, it's your opinion. And
Yeah.
you know. And what do you feel about it?
What was
What's
yours?
Just
Yeah.
hated, sophisticated, and complicated. Let us know.
Tell us about your nostalgia.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And with that being said, follow us on all of our bullshit as well.
Instagram,
YouTube.
sophisticated SOM is everything except Twitter. It's sophisticated. All right?
With that dick twist.
Yeah.
Remember, sophisticated. SOM.
So on that note, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah. We
Until
appreciate
next
you
time,
all.
keep your pinkies up and,
And
your
your
dicks
dicks
out.
out.
And we out this bitch.
Hi guys.